going to start off asking Eric, where did hip hop come from, bro?
So the step before hip hop, or where did hip hop originally come from?
The step just before hip hop.
Fucking so hip hop is 1973 is the birth year of hip hop. DJ Kool Herc is arguably the father of hip hop, and DJ Kool Herc was a Jamaican dude who lived in the South Bronx in New York. Maybe he wasn't South Bronx, but that's where it kind of got going first. Anyway, that's what they'll say. And he did what was used to be called toasting, which is like the DJ would loop a bunch of stuff, and they'd be playing like all this kind of funky, cool music, and they'd be talking to the crowd, getting the party going. They kind of act as the MC, or if there was an MC, and this is an MC, not a rapper. This is a master of ceremonies, someone who got the party hyped. They'd like start saying clever things, and then they'd interact with the DJ, and then after a while they started making shit rhyme, and then the DJs would loop things back, and then start scratching, and then all of that stuff, and then it all became one thing. And then you had your break dances and graffiti and stuff. So there were your four elements in one.
We know about the elements coming together.
Toasting. So toasting was right.
Is essentially the birthplace of rap. Anyone who wants to fact check me, you can go fuck yourself. Because this is like, it might not be a correct order of how shit progressed, but this is my list, and if you don't like it, you can fuck off. So the first thing I think about is old school rap. I think about DJs scratching, loops, easy to follow raps. Toasting is before that, homie. I feel like that progressed into either boom bap or G-funk, or both at the same time.
Depend what region you're in.
Yeah, kind of. I think G-funk was more like a West Coasty thing, and boom bap sort of was more an East Coasty thing, but they sort of both came together pretty quickly. And then other shit happened off the side of that. So then you had gangster rap come in. I think gangster rap started in the West Coast, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But we do definitely know one thing: the East and the West hate each other, man. They fucking hate each other.
Not anymore, though.
Nah, not anymore. But they did hate each other, man. They hated each other so much.
They just hate themselves.
Me and my older brother Matty, he was Biggie and I was Park. And if we met each other in the hallway at home, it was on, man. We were fighting about that shit for sure.
Man, I was a West Coastie as well.
You West Coastie?
I didn't give Wu-Tang a chance.
Oh,
until,
damn.
Okay, well, when I started listening to music, I was like, lyricism.
That's why like West Coast might have that claim to gangster rap, because I've heard Wu-Tang themselves say they're not gangster rap, but you hear them and you think it's gangster rap. You think it's East Coast version of gangster rap, but they call it street shit.
I'd say Mobb Deep is probably more gangster.
Yeah,
than Wu-Tang.
you're right. You're definitely right.
Mobb Deep were gangster rappers for sure.
But they might say the same. I mean, fuck. Who knows?
I don't see
Mobb Deep
Wu-Tang
glorified the life, Wu-Tang.
I don't see Wu-Tang as gangster rappers. They're dope.
I'm just saying, I was all about the West Coast, all about it until I started listening to lyrics.
You're from the West Coast too.
Yeah. The gangster rap started in it had to be sort of early to mid 90s, and then goes into the 2000s. It still continues on today. There's still motherfuckers out there doing some gangster shit.
And West Coast rap was real big internationally too, because you had all the the record labels out in LA. They were real big, and they had a big footprint in Australian culture with the movies and the whole Hollywood thing. So, LA culture was pretty big over here.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why a lot of the LA rappers were known pretty big, and like to their credit, they were huge. You had Park and NWA and Snoop Dogg, and like no one was bigger than Snoop Dogg.
You had Exhibit doing "Pimp My Ride," bro.
But that's probably a bit later. But
Snoop Dogg doing MTV Cribs.
But I think a lot of it was the whole sensationalism of it, because it was something, and this might even segue into what we're about to get into with my topic. But, when people first heard stuff like NWA, they were like, wow, what is this? This is crazy. Even East Coast people were like, wow, these guys are wild. They're on some gangsta different shit.
I guess it was never heard before shit. That's the start of that part of the genre.
Absolutely, it totally shifted. So
then after gangster rap, then there was rap rock started coming up, like Limp Bizkit and fucking Rage Against the Machine and I liked that shit. I really got into it. I loved Rage. I loved Limp Bizkit. Even Korn had a little bit of rap rock going on in their shit. They're a bit more grungier, but that's like sort of the rap rock era. It sort of came and went pretty quickly, in my opinion, but it was dope.
And it was Run DMC and Aerosmith putting together songs.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
That would have been before that.
I think that probably was before.
Oh,
that.
it was well before it. But I'm saying that kind of evolves into that full on genre.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's just a song here or there of they're doing like a rock hook and raps for the verses, whereas then you've got this rock rap like Rage where it's like this meld the whole way through.
Yeah, I guess.
In line with these genres that you're talking about kind of coming one after another, I think at the same time you have to realize with the LA angle, the commercialization of the music is also affecting how it looks, how it sounds, what the rappers look like, and all that stuff, you know, because there's no doubt the amount of sick rappers that came out in the 90s who, due to their unmarketability, never really blew up.
Well, I think
you
that's
know?
actually a really good point because that kind of leads me into this. Is like the next stuff that came across is like crunk rap, drill rap, you know, and a lot of this is like based on image as well, you know. So crunk, drill, and even mumble rap, you know, that stuff's all sort of, to me, is largely image based and largely like persona based. So
Yeah, but so's gangster rap.
Well,
yeah, but gangster rap is gangster rap. That shit is fucking fire.
I could call it party music, basically,
Yeah.
because it's the kind of stuff where you can play it in the background at a party. You don't feel like you're missing out on the value of it, you know, whereas
for
like
sure. I
you
get
put your favorite lyricist in and like you want to sit down and listen to the words and you might bob your head and dance a little bit, but like party music.
But if there's a real good track on, I'll just like face palm someone at a party. I don't want to listen to you. I fucking had enough. I'm hearing this track right now. I'm hearing this new Vinnie Paz shit. So I mean, there's about 9 categories of sort of rap, you know. So that takes us from back then to now. Like the one thing that I've noticed the most of is that nowadays I feel like there's a lack of substance inside the actual music. Not like all across the board, but in a large way. And so like, you know, back to last week when Nas drops new albums and like some of these old rappers are dropping new shit, and I start to listen to that, I'm like, yeah, that's where I'm at. So then I thought, all right, so where does rap go now? So like if you could like choose the next category or the next like offshoot of what rap becomes or what they start talking about, what would you choose? What would you think is going to be?
LGBT trap. LGBT rap.
Oh, you're a fucking lunatic. You?
I was gonna say any feature with Nas X, you know.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
In line
Shit.
with what Eric is
He's
saying.
been getting around.
But you know, and I think that's why that's the danger, because the industry has control over what hip hop really is and what not, in terms of what it means to be successful in hip hop. Because just like there are a few people who do this shit just for love, but you know, everybody wants to make it.
100%.
So if you know that to make it, you have to dress like Machine Gun Kelly and talk about all the drugs and the parties, whatever the fuck he talks about.
Kelly didn't make it dressing up like Machine Gun Kelly.
And his rhymes now are different than how we started out as.
That's
so,
true.
you know, the game, the celebrity, the industry changes kind of the music as well.
That's
you know?
right. So
and,
you know where
and the
you know
artist.
what genre I think is going to be? It's going to be climate rap. Everyone will be talking about climate change in their raps now, man. They're going to be talking about that
Balls
shit.
are causing global warming.
My
This shit's
balls is
so
hot. My balls is hot. That's what I think it's going, man. You'll see some little fucking Greta Thunbergs getting down, doing some freestyle up on stage, open mic nights, you know, fucking flying over.
I don't know. I think the States have always dominated the conscience of hip hop, whether it's thousands of screaming teenagers, you know, freaking out over crisscross or, you know, whatever it is. It's whatever's trending, but fucking I don't think that the tree huggers
Climate
are.
maps.
I don't think the tree huggers necessarily represent the streets.
Oh, no,
You know what I mean?
There's trees on the streets, bro. There's not very many.
And we'll burn them down.
Onto that point, like the suburbs used to follow the streets, right? When it came to trends and stuff. But now everything's so instant that the suburbs can create their own, like, and it's generally whack, right? But with like TikTok and all that and stuff, are they following the streets like they used to? And you know what I mean? And like the cool shit, yes, but the thing is the cool shit's not necessarily the shit that's really getting seen.
Well, this segues perfect into what my topic is, because, you know, I think there's a pull to try to do the cool things. You know, hip hop is just one of those things where everybody just wants. Okay, I'm losing what the fuck I'm talking about here. But essentially, it's cool.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to participate and be a part of it. Recently, I don't know if you guys have heard about this Florida State. He's a Florida Gator recruit, full scholarship to play university football, gridiron. And he's lost his scholarship because he's dropping M-bombs over
right.
Instagram.
You know what? I did see this. So do you know the whole story behind it?
Yeah.
I hope you do, because it's your topic, motherfucker.
I know. Sounds like you're commandeering my shit. What the fuck? Go ahead. Fill me in on the blanks.
Well, he was singing along to lyrics, and he dropped. There was N-bombs inside the lyrics, and he sung along to the lyrics, and he said the N-bomb, basically. You know, that's.
So he's obviously a white kid.
Oh yeah, he's white ass.
He's white ass. He's catching slack from it. Yeah, he's basically being canceled. And well, look, and I think that's the difference, because I think where Duncan's coming from is like
he lost the whole scholarship, but
yeah, full scholarship.
I mean,
I don't know if it's a full scholarship. He lost his scholarship to go to Florida, the Gators, Florida State. I know there's a few schools.
It was
over
a
there,
substantial scholarship, and he's apparently a really good up and coming quarterback. You know, so when you're in a sort of position like that, you've got to be mindful of everything that's around you. Honestly,
he's an 18-year-old boy. He's
got a scholarship
the position
to a
he's in.
university, bro.
Fuck that. If we're gonna put that as a high position in fucking culture, then we fucking need other things. We need to worry about some other shit rather than this 18-year-old kid saying the N-bomb along to a song.
Yeah, but so when can you say it? That's
well, that's a different debate, and whether he can say it or can't say it. Like he's not like he's an 18-year-old kid who said it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
fucking like how fucking high and almighty are we gonna be? Like, for fuck's sake, Jesus
well,
Christ.
I think you know, we're probably all guilty of rapping along to our favorite rap lyrics. It's not like all of us are innocent in ever dropping the N-bomb. Yeah, I'm sure he's about to turn it out. But again, you know, he's not here dropping it for the rest of the world to see.
100%.
Because he's mindful, he's tactful of the appropriate, respectful, and he probably also understands where the word comes from, and which is why he probably doesn't want to use the word. And, you know, I think that's the thing is, like, you know, we're talking about hip hop just being cool and growing up in the sensation of it all, and, you know, hearing the N word, and it's like, wow. And even this kid rapping along to the lyrics, like,
what an
come
idiot,
on,
yeah,
but,
like, what a dumb motherfucker.
But I mean, is he really dumb? Okay,
probably.
his mistake was posting it to social media, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, like, we're all guilty of it. We're all gonna go home and be our ignorant selves and do stupid shit. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at you in particular, Doctor. I respect your shit, man.
I'm ignorant. I know I'm ignorant.
No, but I think, you know, that's the problem is, like, the world is trying to pretend like they're perfect. And look, the truth of the matter is everybody makes mistakes. I've made mistakes before. I've dropped the N-bomb when I shouldn't have dropped the N-bomb in certain circumstances, because I have the power of influence in certain cases.
Yeah.
You know, if for me to use it now okays other people to use it, say, oh, well, John C. used this shit. Why can't I?
Well,
and even if they come around,
John
I want to
C's
appreciate.
Black, bro, and you're white. That's a big difference there, motherfucker.
But even then, like, it comes down to that wanting to be down with the brown. And even hip hop culture is so deeply, that word is so deeply rooted in the culture. So if you want to be a hip hop motherfucker, you know, you got to play the role, you got to say the things, and, you know, like, and really the, you know, the word comes from the culture in the hood amongst these us minorities, you know.
And let's be real,
but
all his wide receivers too. They're all gonna be brothers, man.
he was jamming that song in the locker room as well with those cats.
They were probably egging him on, actually. One of them were filming it. And
They're like, no, you know, they're like, fuck this quarterback shit. Our mate's way better. Let's get him to say this shit and put it on Instagram.
yeah, we're going to really fuck this guy over, you know?
But what I think is important is like when you make your mistakes, when the shit leaks out of your mouth that you might be drunk and you didn't have the tact to be thinking at the time.
That's true.
You know, it's what you do afterwards. It's the conversations that start afterwards. Us talking about it here where we can talk about this.
I mean, on that, I think he did release a letter
Absolutely.
saying that he was, you know, crazy sorry and he accepts the punishment and whatever it is, you know?
And look, it's the best apology for some ignorant shit that I've seen or heard out of someone in a long time. And he's like, look, he put his hand up. He said, I did this shit and I know it wasn't right and it was a huge mistake. I want to roll it back, but I can't. But whatever you want to do to punish me, I'm up for the consequences of
He's in
it.
Canada playing for fucking some second-rate fucking NFL team.
Look, he's an 18-year-old kid. Like, for fuck's sake, like people have nothing better to do in their day. You know what I mean? Like,
You know
like
it.
I don't even think he should have to apologize. You know what I mean? Like, well, because who's he really apologized? Like, at the end of the day, who really needs this kid's apology? Like who? Like you know what I mean?
I think
Like who
it's
really needs this kid's apology? Like you really need that kid's
no
apology?
one really needs
Is
it,
that,
but
like
it's like it's expected
Fucking
though,
hell.
you know, like
Look, I just
especially
need
the
him to
college.
understand it, man. I just need him to understand that he fucked up,
Oh,
and
100%.
clearly, like
Okay.
He knows now.
related that.
You know,
He knows.
Well, and
He
you know,
knows
like it
now.
isn't in the punishment. You know,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be the teaching point. It's just in him
I
trying to
agree.
figure out why the fuck he shouldn't be using the word,
Yeah.
and he shouldn't be saying, "Well, why can't I use the word?" Because that's inference is like for me, that's the showing point. Is
Yeah.
like,
Well, you
do
know
you
why
wanna
you
use it
can't
or
use
not,
it.
you
Because
know?
this shit happens if you use a motherfucker. That's why.
Well, also understanding the word, like where it
100%.
originally comes from, to refer to black people, generally in America, as someone less than a person,
Yeah.
less than your
it's
your
the
chattel.
grossest of gross.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you know, I think understanding that as if you're a white person, you know, like you shouldn't want to turn around and use that word or
No,
in
man.
any context.
Nah,
you
that's
know,
a punchable offense for sure.
even though it's in your coolest favorite rap song. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Theo Von does a bit about it, and it's pretty fucking funny. And like, he's like, when can you say the N word? And he's like, maybe, like if you were just at a party. And like 30 guys just beat the shit out of you. And then they took your wallet and they took all your bank funds and then they fucked your wife. And he's like, then maybe then you could use the M-bomb. He's like, but I wouldn't suggest it. You know, so like, it's true, man.
He's used it in his stand-up before.
Yeah, but he's wild, bro.
Yeah, he is.
He's wild. Like, you know, like, and I don't know, maybe because he's been subjected to such bullshit as well. Like, he grew up really poor. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. But, like, I'm definitely not going to be dropping it.
No, neither.
You know,
neither.
like-
Unless I'm singing the song, and I'm not going to do it in front of people who, in front of a black person that's sensitive about it. If a white person's sensitive about it, I don't care. I'll still say it because they can fucking suck my dick. But if a black person is sensitive about it, I won't say it in front of them. And the only time I'd ever say it is singing the song. So
Well, Eric, if you ever decide that you want to use the word around me, as long as you ask politely, I'll make sure to tell you no, motherfucker, fuck off.
And I respect that, and that's why I never say it around you.
I didn't think that's where that was going, but I like it, bro.
I knew that's exactly where it was going.
No, but I was watching some old school stand up, not from a black comedian, but from George Carlin. And one of the bits he was talking about is like people who basically deserve to die. And he's going through the names of these cunts. And I'm like, he's like, one of them's like Skylar, you know? And I'm like, he's talking about white people. I'm like, this shit, this would not fly today. And you know, I think the point is like the media has changed. The media has sent the access to media, you know, and your information. You're no longer yourself. You're your information and your face in your fucking in your avatar, you know, out there in FTP land or where, you know, whatever that was going. So you know, I think a brain fart. Who did fart? They all smell that? That's distracting.